morning. It is Elizabeth from Fern Stickers, and I'm going to do a day in the life video today. It's already maybe going to be kind of an interesting day because it looks like it's going to rain and be stormy all day long. So hopefully the thunder won't be too loud and that it won't be too dark and gloomy, but we'll see how it goes. So right now, I got up at 6:15, I've got some coffee, and I'm up in my office and have my devotional time, so spend some time praying and reading the Bible. And also right now I am reading this book as well, which I am really enjoying, and if you're a Christian, I would highly recommend it. So yeah, so I'll spend some time doing that, and then I'll go downstairs and have some coffee with Brian before he leaves for work. Okay, so it's about 7:30 now, and so far my morning is not going quite as planned. It's not horrible. I can definitely compensate, and that's the nice thing about days when I'm working from home is I don't have to spend as much time like getting ready and driving to the office, so I have some more flexibility. So I had some coffee with Brian, and he left for work a little after 7, and usually then I would have gone and just worked out right away, but I didn't, and partly, well, this is a dumb excuse. It's raining and I was supposed to go running today, so I'm gonna do weights instead and just switch my workouts from today and tomorrow. But that was no reason why it should have taken me longer to start working out. But mostly after Brian left, I just sat looking at Reddit on my phone for a little bit, which was not what I intended to do. And then I also realized that I had, last night I got the video for today all edited and uploaded, but I realized I'd never made the thumbnail and actually hit schedule. So I came up to my office to do that really quick. So it's about 7:30 now. I'm gonna go work out. But again, it's not, I like usually when I'm working from home, I like to be working starting by 8:30, but if it's 9 when I get started, that's okay. I don't have meetings or anything scheduled today. I've got a bunch of things to do, but it's realistic even if I get started a little bit later. So I'm gonna go get into my workout clothes and get ready to work out now. I'll also show you poor Luna. She doesn't like storms, and I just went into the laundry room to get some workout clothes, and she was hiding behind the washing machine, and now she's kind of doing her scared walk, trying to find a new place to hide. Yeah, poor little kitty cat. Yeah, it's tough when there's thunder and lightning, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so it is time to work out. I'm in our basement. I'll turn you around in a second to show you our little home gym setup right now. So I have a subscription to the Peloton website. We don't have a Peloton, we don't have a tread, we don't have any of the fancy equipment, but it's, I don't know, maybe $12 a month, and I'm out of focus. There we go. I think it's $12 a month, and I use it a lot. I really like the strength workouts. I'm doing weights usually 3 times a week, so I use the strength, I use the Peloton workouts for those strength workouts, and then also they have outdoor workouts that are just audio, so you can listen to them on your phone, and I do a speed work running one once a week, so I get a lot of use out of it even though we don't have a Peloton or anything. So I've really enjoyed it. Before I was doing a lot of free workouts that were on YouTube. There is a lot of great stuff you can find that's free on YouTube, but I found that it was a little bit more all over the place, and it was hard to find things that were as consistent or that were kind of like the same thing but different, things are just very different from each other. So for me, it has definitely been worth it. And I mean, we used to pay for a gym membership, and this is way less than we were paying for our gym membership. So I'll switch you around and show you our home gym setup. All right, so we are in our unfinished basement. This is a very basic setup right now. So these are the weights that I use. So this is kind of where my setup is. We've got more weights over here that are mostly ones that Brian uses. We have a bench that currently has some tools sitting on it, some other miscellaneous workout stuff, also some tools, we're still getting moved in here. And then this is kind of random, but Brian had worked for his company for 15 years. Last year was his 15th anniversary, and you got to pick out a present. And the presents were very random, but he got a pull-up bar, which is pretty nice. So we've got that pull-up bar, and you can see it's a daylight basement, so we've got a really nice space here. And long term, we want to get foam mats to put down here so it's a nicer surface, because even with just the yoga mat, if I'm doing stuff that's kneeling, it's kind of hard. The yoga mat is not enough. So we want to get some foam tiles to put down here, and also we want to get a treadmill. The treadmill is probably a sooner rather than later thing, but we want to go to Atlanta and actually try some out so that we know what we're getting is good. But yeah, for anyone else who's moved, when you move, there's all kinds of things that you want to buy right away, but you kind of have to prioritize purchases, and this definitely works for now. But long term, we've got a vision to make this a little bit more formal. Okay, my workout is done. It was a good one. I'm definitely sweaty now. It ended with mountain climbers, which are not my favorite, but a really good exercise. So it feels good to have my workout done. I'm gonna go take a shower now. Usually on Tuesdays, I wash my hair. So right now, I'm washing my hair twice a week, usually on Tuesdays and Fridays, but I like to wash my hair after days that I run because that's when it gets really sweaty. So I'm working from home today. I don't even have any Zoom meetings. So I'm just gonna take a body shower and then put in some dry shampoo and put it back in a ponytail, and I'll wash my hair tomorrow after when I do today's run tomorrow. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath from finishing up that workout. Before I go take a shower, I'm gonna show you outside really quick because it is really pretty after all the rain, and there was lightning this morning, so there was nitrogen, and everything is really green right now. So let me show you right out here. There we go. So everything is just really green. I love spring. I think spring is my favorite season. I know that's a little controversial. Everyone loves fall, but you can just see all the little green buds coming out, and the lawn looks really lush and green right now. So we are loving living in the woods. I know that I've been complaining some about the new house. I think it was more the expectation that it wasn't perfect when we moved in, which was kind of what we expected. So we're dealing with it, and overall we're so happy with our new house, and we really love being in this setting. All right, I am showered and I am wearing a sweatshirt and leggings, which is kind of my work from home uniform, and I'm gonna make some breakfast now. I'm going to make a smoothie. I really like having smoothies when it warms up. In the winter though, no. So I usually eat oatmeal when it's colder, and then I have smoothies when it is warmer. And usually recently, I guess I changed it up, but recently my standard smoothie has had banana in it, but last week I bought a bunch of mangoes because they were on sale, and then they all ripened at once, and I could not eat them all at once, so I froze a bunch of them. So I'm gonna have a mango smoothie, and I had one yesterday, and it was delicious. So I'll show you what all I put in it. Camera's at a little bit of a weird angle, but this is how I can make it work and not have to try to put everything in with one hand. So I use regular milk and using up that carton. Then I have frozen mango. It's all in one chunk. And then I'm adding vanilla protein powder. I use about half a scoop. And then I'm adding L-serine, which is an amino acid, and this is a brain health related thing. And then I'm going to add some spinach. And usually in my smoothies that have bananas, I have peanut butter too, but I don't think peanut butter and mango taste very good together, so no peanut butter today. So now I have my smoothie, and I'm gonna head upstairs and get to work. So before I start my day, the first thing that I want to do is sit down and map my tasks onto the time that I have. And so this helps me to kind of have a structure for my day. And so obviously I didn't run, but I worked out, so I'm gonna check it off because I don't really look back at my daily planners. I'm not gonna be concerned with that. And I did my devotions and workout. I'm planning my day now. I forgot to write down my memories from yesterday, so I will do that when I take a break from work later. So let's see what I've got here. So I usually like to start with the hardest things first, but I'm actually gonna start with, this one is a little bit time sensitive because it's for an assignment for students, and it was something that I had forgotten to do. So I'm gonna start with that. And so that I have that done. And then the big thing that I have that's research related, which is usually what I try to do first because that's kind of what takes the most brain power and focus, is this paper that has been sitting for a long time, and I want to get it sent out to a journal. But the first thing I need to do is just read it because it's been so long since I've read my own paper that I don't even remember what was there. So that will be, that'll take about an hour to do. And then I want to work on a plan for revising it. And I don't think that should be too long because it's a pretty solid paper. So and then I'll plan to take, and this is where, well, I mean, I love having this, like this, having half hours with this much space for the whole day. This is essential for me. I really like this layout, but sometimes when I want to do like 15-minute increments, it gets a little tricky because I'll use the Pomodoro method for this. So I'll set a timer for 25 minutes and take 5-minute breaks. But then usually after you do 4 of those, you take like a 15-minute break. Sometimes I'll take a longer break, but since this will be like close to lunch, I'll only take a little 15-minute break there.
So let's see, what do I want to do after that? Okay, so then maybe the next thing I'll do is this letter, and I'll go ahead and, yeah, I'll go ahead and write it here, and but I'll know that I'm going to take a little break after that. And so this is, I observed one of my colleagues teaching, and I need to write up a letter evaluating his teaching, and I was going to do that last week, and then other stuff took over and it didn't happen. And then there's probably, I can probably do like something else before I have lunch, because this will take a little time, but maybe not all of that time. And you know, and stuff doesn't always map on exactly, but it kind of gives me an approximate. So I can start off, this is, I have to look at the applications to our grad program, and I'll just start by, before lunch, I'll go and look at the application system, because there's a bunch of things that I need to check in there, and then after lunch I will follow up, and I've got a bunch of emails that I need to send. So then, you know, so then usually my lunch break doesn't actually end up being like a full hour. It's kind of, because probably this will take a little bit longer, but I usually try to take like at least half an hour that's off for lunch, but I'll block out this whole hour, and then if this stuff bleeds into it a little bit, that's okay. So then after lunch, I'm gonna want to finish up the application stuff, and this is a lot of administrative. I've got like spreadsheets tracking a lot of stuff. I've got to email people, because we're at the point where I need to follow up with people to see if they're gonna come next year or not, because we can't admit more students until we know whether or not people are gonna come. So it's a lot of following up on emails and keeping track of that. So that'll take a little time to finish up everything. And then the other big thing for the afternoon will be registration for the new grad students who will be coming in next year. And again, this is a little bit of work, because I have to, like, they don't know their student IDs yet, so I have to look that up for each of them, and I have to find their email addresses because I don't have them in my system yet. So so those are both administrative things that don't take a lot of brain power, but it'll take some time to do. And then the last thing, and so then again, I'll take a little break after this, but then the last thing will be to just to finish up with doing emails. And I know sometimes I kind of hesitate to talk about this, but I'm gonna talk about it, which is that so one of my goals for this year is to try to work on using good work habits to work efficiently and as focused as I can to work less hours. And I'm really fortunate that I have a job where I just need to get my work done by, I have an annual evaluation, and I need to get things done so that I do well in my annual evaluation. And there's obviously things like I have to show up to teach my classes and have office hours, but nobody is checking in on me, and I have a lot of autonomy to do my work how and when I want. And I've always been capable of being a very efficient worker, and that's partly why, like, I've had in the past, like in college, some desk jobs that were not for me, because I would finish my work really quickly and there wouldn't be other stuff for me to do, and people couldn't come up with other stuff for me to do, and then you're just sitting there. So I like this flexibility, but I'm not working a full work day, and I'm trying to work on being okay with that, because a lot of times I have in the past kind of procrastinated and dragged my feet and not worked efficiently so I could try to fill up the whole time. But what one of my goals for this year is to, like, really to work and get my work done as quickly as possible, and then to be like, well, okay, it's, you know, it's 3:30 and I am done for the day, and that's great. I've got the rest of the time to do other things, and knowing that I'm getting done what I need to do. And also too, and my job is also kind of weird because I actually don't even, in my contract, it doesn't stipulate like how many hours a week I'm supposed to work. So it's not even stipulated in my contract that I have specific working hours. So it is very flexible, and I do a good job of my job, but I can do it in less time, and I'm trying to really work on doing that. So anyway, so I should be finished with work by then, and so then I will go work on some stuff for Fern Creek. Actually, I won't put a checkbox there. I'll just put FCS work. And so I'm gonna work on some more kit reformat, and then also work on printing and cutting some stickers. And then this will be time to cook dinner. And then after dinner, Brian and I hang out pretty much like the past 2 years, ever since the pandemic started. After dinner, we do jigsaw puzzles and watch documentaries, which is extremely nerdy, but we really enjoy it. And then have some quiet time later in the evening, but I don't schedule that out. And then the looks at pots and pans, actually, let me put that in at lunchtime. I can do that while I eat lunch. Because that is something that I think I explained this in my plan with me, that we have an induction stove, which we love. It is amazing. We really like the induction stove, but most of our pots and pans do not work on it. So we're working with like a very motley assortment of like a Dutch oven, a cast iron frying pan, and a nonstick skillet. And that's like what we have. So we've been making do since we moved in, but like, you know, it would be nice to not be like trying to cook rice in a frying pan anymore. So I need to look at some new pots and pans and show Brian what I like and see what he thinks, so we can go ahead and buy them, especially before we have 20 people here for Easter and I will be cooking for a crowd. So this is my plan for the day, and so I do like to spend a few minutes. It took longer because I was talking and explaining everything to you, but I just spent a few minutes at the start of the day planning things out. And I should make a video sometime where I go through and actually do this for a whole week and show you how I map things out. So I will get started. So starting off with a quick teaching thing and then doing kind of my big task for the day, which is research related. So it is about 11:15 now, and I'm in the basement because there is now a tornado warning. So we were on a tornado watch for pretty much all day, but now there is a tornado that has touched down in our county. So fortunately, I have that obnoxious alarm on my phone that alerted me that we're now a tornado warning. And I am so grateful that we have a basement. Most places in Alabama, or at least around here, most people don't have basements. So I'm very grateful to have one. And if things get really scary, I will move away from the windows. We kind of have it's not really a storm shelter, but it kind of looks like one. There's kind of a concrete bunker here that's really just to hold up our front porch, but it would keep us very safe. So I've got Luna down here with me too. She was not very happy about getting corralled to the basement, but yeah, so the tornado warning is in effect until noon, so I'll keep working down here and hopefully things will be uneventful. Okay, so it is about 12:10 now, and the tornado warning got canceled, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes ago. So I just came up here and was sitting at the kitchen table finishing stuff up. So it's kind of funny. Luna was not happy about being in the basement, but she always wants to go in the basement. We don't let her go down there because if you've been around here, you know that she chews on cords, and there's lots of cords in the basement that we don't have hidden or protected. So we just don't let her go down there, and she always wants to go down. But of course, the one time that I want her to go down, she does not want to be there. A few minutes after we went down there, Danielle got here to work, and Luna was waiting at the top of the stairs and scared Danielle out of her mind because Luna just shot out of the door at the top of the basement stairs when Danielle opened it. So then I had to go back and corral Luna back in the basement again. But once she was down there, she was okay with it. So we hung out in the basement for, I don't know, 45 minutes, and there was a second tornado that touched down in our county, but the tornado warning was canceled. They both, I guess, went, I don't know, disappeared or didn't quite come here. So I'll be curious to read and see. Hopefully there wasn't too much damage from the tornadoes, but I am in the clear now. So I got almost everything done that I wanted to this morning. The last thing, which was starting the grad applications, going onto the website for the grad applications, I did not get to that yet. My morning got a little bit disrupted with the tornado. And then I was talking to Danielle when I was working down there. So, but that's okay, because I've got plenty of time this afternoon and I'll roll that into working on the grad applications. So I'm gonna go ahead and first of all, I'm gonna clean up the kitchen a little bit and then make some lunch and look at some pots and pans while I have lunch. All right, so for lunch, I'm gonna have a salad and some yogurt. And I should say too, I can be a little bit of a grazer. So like I had some pretzels in the morning too. I'll probably have an afternoon snack. So what you see me eat for my meals is not necessarily everything that I'm eating in a day. But I've been making these mason jar salads, and these were really popular, I don't know, like 5 years ago. And I don't know, is this like the 4th or 5th week in a row I've done this? I've started making these again, and I don't know why I ever stopped or why they stopped becoming popular, because I can prep 5 salads on the weekend and then have them for lunch every day of the week. And so it's got dressing in the bottom. This has a peanut sauce dressing. And then I've got chickpeas and quinoa on the bottom, and then there's bell peppers, carrots, cucumbers, and lettuce. And so all I do is dump it upside down in a bowl and stir it up, and since the dressing is on the bottom, it kind of goes to the top. And when you layer the ingredients like this with the heavy stuff on the bottom, they keep fresh for I make them on Sunday, and the Friday salad is still good. So I've really been liking this because I got pretty lazy about making good lunches when I was in the early pandemic, when I was working from home all the time. It seems like it should have been easier to make good lunches, but I got lazy about it. So this has been a big help. And then I really like this Siggy's yogurt, but this is a buy on sale only kind of thing. It's pretty pricey when it's not on sale. So Brian is the one that does the grocery shopping, and he knows when it goes on sale he should get me some Siggy's. And there's a couple other brands of skyr too that I like. I think the Siggy's is my favorite, but any of them, when they're on sale, Brian will get them, but it's a little too pricey to just buy all the time. So I'll start off having this for lunch, and I will probably have some kind of afternoon snack in a couple hours. So it's about 1 o'clock now. I had some lunch. I found some pots and pans that look good, so I'll see what Brian thinks about those, and I watched a few minutes of Bridgerton. So now it is back to work this afternoon, mostly doing kind of administrative stuff. I'm gonna sit in my comfy chair for most of this work. It doesn't require as much brain power. So yeah, back to work it is. I also want to show you something I found in my office. So the Easter Bunny comes and practices at our house, and this is something that's happened ever since we got married, which really means that leading up to Easter, Brian just hides candy for me around the house. And I'm very curious about this. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Since it says that it's like a Reese's Pieces egg, and you can hear there's something in it. But anyway, so Brian hides candy, and he hides candy other times in Easter, and he is so good at playing the long game. He will hide stuff. I know there's been stuff that's been sitting for like weeks, and I haven't found it, and he doesn't say anything. But it's a fun surprise to find stuff like this hidden around the house. So it is about 3 o'clock now, and I am done with all of my work for today. So I've got everything checked off my list, and I got my things checked off here, and you know, the times, you know, aren't always exact, but it worked out pretty well. And yeah, and I'm done about 3, and I got all my emails answered. So I'm going to head to the basement and do some work for Fern Creek until it's time to make dinner. So while I'm working on some designing and reformatting, I am also cutting some of the new Daily Duo stuff. This isn't gonna look that different, so you get a sneak peek of some of the designs, but this part of the format hasn't changed too much. Overall, the Daily Duo just got small tweaks because you all were pretty happy with it. So here's some divider washi cutting on this machine. And then, over here, we had a paper jam and I need to restart things. So we've got bottom boxes over here with the 4th of July kit. So yeah, working on getting stuff cut in the new format. All right, so it is almost 5 o'clock. I'm gonna go upstairs, and I've got a couple businessy things that I need to take care of for Fern Creek that I'll do before I start making dinner. But I'll give you this little sneak peek of the budget kits, which I was working on designing while I was printing and cutting, so you can see some of the new fonts that I'm gonna use and one of the designs. So I really like how these fonts are coming together. And also, for those of you who budget by paycheck, you'll be really pleased to know that I will be offering the option to get paycheck budgets. I'm still only gonna offer the 7x9 budgets because that was really what I sold the most of. But yeah, so there's a little sneak peek of what I've been working on. And now that it's not raining anymore, Luna's having a good day and made herself a little nest on my chair in my office. Yeah, good Luna. Okay, so it's about 9 o'clock now, so I missed a few hours of talking to you in here. Brian came home and we were talking, and then I just forgot to record making dinner and everything after that. But anyway, so I made dinner. I did take a picture of it. I thought to do that, so I'll put in a picture of it here. So I have talked in the past about being a vegetarian, and I guess maybe I don't quite know how to call myself right now, but I started being a vegetarian in 2007, so it has been a very long time. But recently though, Brian and I have been trying to eat more fish for health reasons, so we have started eating fish pretty regularly, so I guess more of a pescatarian now than a vegetarian. But yeah, so we made some salmon for dinner tonight, and then after that, our thing is pretty much we watch documentaries and do jigsaw puzzles. So we watched the first 2 episodes of Bad Vegan, which got way wilder than I expected it to, and was pretty interesting, and worked on the jigsaw puzzle we're doing. We're currently doing a 2,000 piece landscape, which is not the hardest puzzle we've done, but it's a challenging one. So it is taking some time, but we really enjoy doing that.
and now it is time for me to start winding down for bed. So I'm gonna put on my pajamas and brush my teeth, and then I'm gonna read in bed and drink some tea for a bit and then go to sleep. So thanks for following along with me today. It was fun to do one of these. It had been way too long, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all again soon. Bye everyone.